The time is upon us. Let's talk about the surprise song, aka acoustic era of the Eras tour. Now this one is a little complicated to concisely talk about because it changed every night. Every night she played a different song acoustically on her guitar and on her piano. We know them, we love them, they're the surprise songs. We got two every night, and the one thing I want to get out of the way right off the bat is that I will never forget the shock of the second show when she started playing State of Grace on the piano, because she didn't intro State of Grace. Because the first night, she played Mirrorball and Tim McGraw, and everyone was kind of the impression, or at least most people, if my memory serves correct, were under the impression that, okay, she was going to play Tim McGraw every night on the piano after the one surprise song. So on the second night, when she played State of Grace, and it was like, wait, the piano is a surprise song too? Debut is not on the set list at all? That was one of the most insane moments of the whole tour, for me at least. I lost my mind when she started playing State of Grace. But anyway, you can kind of tell from how I'm talking about it. This was always a really exciting part of the night because the Eras tour is so carefully constructed, perfectly choreographed. Her speeches are always pretty similar. Everything stays the same, except for this one moment every night. And so the excitement of what is this night gonna have in store was always so freaking palpable, and I loved it. Now, I didn't love what it did to people, and some people, defining their whole concert experience based on whether or not they enjoyed their two surprise songs. That was silly to me, and isn't even worth giving breath to, so, moving right along. Because as Taylor said herself a few times during her intro speeches, this gave her the opportunity to, truly make this an Eras tour. She was able to go through and dig songs out of, the trenches of her discography and be like, hey, I think I'm gonna play Invisible, a deluxe track from my first album tonight. And that's just so cool. It's so cool. And I really enjoyed the setup of, one song on each instrument each night, and, that. I think it just really worked, and it's a nice breath before we go into Midnights and wrap up the show. Now, this was also the most common time in the show for her to bring out a guest. There was Aaron Dessner, a lot, which was always so exciting when he was there. Jack Antonoff, Maren Morris, Marcus Mumford. It was always exciting when there was a guest there. It was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun, whatever. And like I said, because the rest of the show is so carefully choreographed, this also felt like a moment of really seeing Taylor, which was nice. But enough of all that. Let's talk about what she wears during the surprise songs. So there's 4 different outfits for the surprise songs, and they each match the 1989 outfits because she puts them on right over them. She puts these dresses on stage in a blackout right on top of the 1989 outfits, so they pretty much match the colors of those. Now, my least favorite is the yellow one, because why is it yellow? The 1989 outfit is orange. This is beautiful. This is stunning. I can't wrap my head around why it's yellow and not orange. Anyway, moving on. Third for me is the pink one. I wish it was more pink, less red, more pink. I want it to commit to the fact that it's pink. Second place is the green one. I really like this one. I think this one's really nice. And then I can't believe it, the one she only wore once, the blue one, is my favorite. I like the shade. I like how well it matches the 1989 outfit. It's just no notes. This one's great. Now, because in this part of the show, she plays 2 different songs every night, and there were, I think, 53 shows on the US leg, I want to talk about what my top 5 combinations were, because to pick one is impossible, so I have a top 5 for you. So my 5th favorite is from closing night of the US leg, New Romantics, and New Year's Day. I was looking so forward to New Romantics all of tour because I love that song, and then I think New Year's Day was the perfect song to be the last surprise song for the US leg. My 4th favorite is Last Kiss and Dorothea, because those are 2 of my all-time favorite Taylor Swift songs, and the fact that they were played on the same night, and the fact that it was a night that I didn't watch a live stream, is great. But no, incredible combo, one of my favorites. 3rd favorite is Would've, Could've, Should've, and Mine. Now, I was there for this one, so that's a big part of why it holds such a special place, but also, Would've, Could've, Should've, I just didn't think she'd ever play that song. I didn't even have it on my list of dream songs because I was like, it's not even an option, so I won't put it on. So when she brought out Aaron and introduced it, oh my god, getting to hear that song live, truly one of the highlights of my existence on this earth thus far. And then my 2nd favorite combo is Cowboy Like Me with Marcus Mumford and White Horse. I still actively mourn Cowboy Like Me. Not sure I'll ever get over that one. I put on a brave face every day, but I haven't been okay since she played it. That's just this combo was top notch, but I do have one that I like more than it. And my favorite surprise song combo of all of tour is The Other Side of the Door and Coney Island. That Oh my god! Such a good Coney Island solo. The Other Side of the Door, which I don't know if she'd ever performed. If she had, it was only like once. It just like, oh my god. Yeah, that's my number one. And then I, of course, have to give a shout out to The Lakes. I desperate to hear that song. So happy she played it. But it was with I Wish You Would, which, like, I like. But that combo isn't strong enough to make my top 5. But The Lakes, number 1 in my heart. And then, of course, we can't talk about this part of the show without covering the 4 announcements she made during it. So I'm going to talk about those from my least favorite to my favorite based on, like, the announcement. Not what was being announced, but the announcement itself. Now, coming in 4th is the Karma music video announcement, which, don't get me wrong, was exciting, but she, rightfully so, kept Ice Spice backstage until she came out to perform Karma with her, and so this was really just the music video, which was still exciting, but it wasn't as exciting as the other 3 announcements were because of that. But I love this picture of her watching with her dancers. It's so sweet that they were in the video. I love it so much. 3rd place is the I Can See You music video announcement, which she watched by herself, which... This photo, I love this photo. But after the video played, she brought out the cast, and we got the iconic video of Taylor Lautner backflipping onto stage and just doing what Taylor Lautner apparently does in his free time. And this was very nice to have the cast out there, and there was like a little bit of talking. He gave a very sweet speech. Like, they were all very grateful, you could tell. This was very nice. And now I can't possibly choose which album announcement was better because they're both so good in so many different ways. I'm just going to talk about Speak Now first because it happened first, and then I'll talk about 1989, but as far as I'm concerned, they're both number 1. Now, the Speak Now announcement was basically perfect. I think my favorite thing is that she teased it in her Nashville post. Like, I'm coming for you, Nashville. It was all purple. There were 3s scattered throughout it. And then at the start of the show, she said she had tricks up her sleeve. And then during her, like, saying that she had a surprise, she said, I think instead of speaking about it, and I was there, so I remember when she said that, the way everyone came to life, because that was all the confirmation we needed, that something was happening with Speak Now. And then it coming up on screen, the realization July 7th for the weekend of July 9th for Last Kiss, and going right into Sparks Fly, which had become so ingrained in re-recording theories because of the Drop Everything Now lyric, and starting the song with Drop Everything Now. Even though that's not the first lyric, it just, like, perfectly orchestrated, and I think Sparks Fly was the correct song to play with the announcement. And then, of course, there's the 1989 announcement, which was also perfect, because this one, she didn't acknowledge at all. She didn't say anything about tricks. She didn't really reference anything on social media post about going to LA. Like, there was nothing. There was nothing to the point that I know people who gave up hope and went to bed when she didn't acknowledge any tricks in her opening lover speech. But then she comes on stage in the blue enchanted dress. And then she comes on stage in the blue folklore dress. And then she comes on stage in the blue 1989 outfit. And then it just was like the build up to this one in such a short condensed time was so well done. And the fact that she played I Know Places the night before so that she could play New Romantics. And by playing New Romantics, she played all 16 1989 songs on this tour, on the US leg, is so cool. And it does crack me up that for 1989, she had Pre-Order Now on the screen, whereas Speak Now was just like, it's coming out, guys. I think that's really funny. She clearly wants 1989 to blow up, and I think it's going to. I think she's going to do good promo for it in her 2 months off between the Mexico shows and the rest of the Latin America leg. But anyway, I think I talked enough about the surprise songs. It was one of my favorite parts of the show every night. I think it was really well put together. I think it came at a good time before the last set and everything. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I wish the negativity that kind of grew to surround it hadn't taken over so much, because it was really a really cool thing, and I'll never forget the feeling of reacting to these songs every night, and this part of the show being different. So yeah, at some point in the next few days, I'll talk about Midnights, and then I will have talked about the entire tour as it existed on the first US leg. Thanks for watching. This was really fucking long.